Hello, everybody, and it is in fact Saturday, which means I have two responsibilities. One, watching anime, and two, making my picks for week 3 of this NFL season. Is this week 3? It's week 4. I can't count. Now, I would have done this on Thursday, but I was sick. We all knew the Cowboys were going to win that game regardless. The New York Giants are trash. So let's get it started. Falcons, Saints. This Falcons team is not looking good so far. The run game still kind of trash. The offensive line has taken a step back. Meanwhile, the Saints, right? Philadelphia is a good team. That's a team that you shouldn't be putting up 44 against. However, I think the secondary in Atlanta is better. I think that Jesse Bates is going to get to the ball so much more often. I think Jesse Bates is going to lock up more than C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Give me the Atlanta Falcons winning 17-10 to make both teams 2-2. Next up, we have the Jets at the Broncos. Of course, the Broncos all with that genuinely surprising win last week against the... It'll come to me eventually. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, I think that was a flash in the pan. While I don't think Bo Nix is going to step back, I do think Bo Nix will throw his first passing touchdown of his career. What I don't think is going to happen is I don't think this Denver defense is good enough to be able to stop Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers. This Jets offensive line is so much better than it was last year. Aaron Rodgers is going to outplay Bo Nix in every facet of the game, minus like rushing yards. I think, give me the Jets 27-24. They're going to win by a field goal, but Aaron Rodgers is better than Bo Nix. Go make better throws. Next up, Vikings at Packers. Minnesota should win this game 100%. Malik Willis, he's played good. That Titans defense from last week, though, is absolutely nothing. That Colts defense, also weak. The Minnesota Vikings defense is one of the best defensive units in the NFL as we speak. Okay, this Vikings defense should be able to completely shut down Malik, should be able to completely shut down the run game as well, right? Because this run game has struggled a little bit this season. Josh Jacobs, I don't think is going to start picking it up against this Vikings defensive line. If he does, that'd be very shocking. This is a very good defensive line the Vikings have. On the offensive side of the ball, Sam Darnold should have Jordan Addison, should have Hawkinson. Sam Darnold himself is fine. Justin Jefferson is fine. Everyone's healthy now on the offense, up from what I've heard. This Vikings team, Sam Darnold's going to throw one interception to Jair Alexander probably, and that's about it. Sam Darnold, I'm pushing this MVP campaign. Give me the Vikings 30-17 to go 4-0. Sammy D to the Super Bowl. Next up, the Rams at Chicago. I'm dying. But the Rams somehow, with a JV squad last week, walk out, beat the Niners. I don't think this is happening again. Right? The Chicago Bears are fresh off a loss at Indianapolis. A game that they realistically should have won. I think they're going to come in here. This is home field. Caleb Williams knows how to pass the ball to Rome Odunze now, ever so slightly. This Rams defense is still ravaged by injuries. This offense is also ravaged by injuries. I don't think the power of Tutu Atwell is going to be enough to get past this Bears secondary, which is a very underrated one of the better secondaries in the league. I think Matthew Stafford is going to struggle because none of his wide receivers are going to be able to get open against some of the better corners. I think he's going to be pressured a lot, especially by Montez Sweat on that defensive line. I think Caleb Williams should just be able to manage this game. If they call this right, it's handing the ball off to D. Swift and Khalil Herbert a lot to take advantage of the weak defensive line that the Rams have. And the Chicago Bears should win this 17-10 to advance to 2-2 on the season. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly's defense has shown that they can hold people to little points. And Baker Mayfield, last week, he did not look good. He looked bad against a much worse secondary than Phillies. right? Denver's defense is, of course, much worse. However, this is in Tampa. And you guys got to remember the wild card game that happened, right? Where Philly got stomped. Nick Sirianni, people are losing faith in him. I'm starting to lose faith in him. He should give up the play calling. If Sirianni keeps up his BS that he's been going on, calling bad plays and generally not managing the game well as a coach, I think Tampa should win this 20-10. Easily. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals at Carolina Panthers. I'm a Bengals fan. If we lose this game, this game's going to kill me right here. Cincinnati is coming off an amazing loss. Odd to say, but it was a very, very good game against the Washington Commanders. They could fit me in there at defensive tackle. Right? The Bengals should come in here. Andy Dalton, familiar face. This Panthers defense is 10 times worse. And I mean 10 times worse than that Washington defense. Right? Jamar, he played like rent was due last week. He's going to play like rent is due this week. Our defense should be able to stop the red rifle. Adam Thielen's hurt. That's less weapons to throw to. Now they just got Xavier Legette and Jonathan Mingo. Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders in the backfield. Yeah, that'll work out pretty well. I think Cincinnati comes in here. They get their first win of the season decisively. I think Cincinnati walks in here and they win 28-7. I should take a cough drop. Next up, Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. Somehow Pittsburgh is 3-0, and it pains me to see that. However, I think this is where it stops. This is at home for Indy. Anthony Richardson. I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid. I think Anthony Richardson this week will pull it all together. He's going to be looking good, okay? He's going to look like how he did week 1 against Houston. He's going to look like how he did those first 4 weeks in his rookie year, okay? I think people are being too impatient with him. It's just an extension of his rookie year. Anthony Richardson is going to go off. He's mobile enough to evade TJ Watt. I think Justin Fields is going to struggle against a good Colts defense that should be getting DeForest Buckner at 100% this week. I feel that we're also going to be able to run the ball on Pittsburgh. Indy's going to be able to run this ball against Pittsburgh. The interior defensive line is a little bit weak, is it not? Therefore, give me Indianapolis winning 21-10, taking down Pittsburgh. Please let this happen. Up next, we have Jacksonville at Houston. This is a pretty decisive Houston win. Of course, shaky game against Minnesota, but that Vikings defense is something else compared to the Jaguars defense. Trevor Lawrence, he showed his true colors. He's truly mediocre when it comes to quarterback, especially he's mediocre compared to the standards he was hyped up to have coming out of Clemson. I don't see this changing at all this week. This defense from the Texans should just be able to shut down any run game that they want to get going with Travis Etienne. Texans secondary should be able to lock up Christian Kirk and gang. Evan Ingram, I believe, is also hurt, if I remember seeing correctly. It's just not going to end up well. I think Jacksonville is going to fall 0-4, losing 28-7. And this might be the year where Jacksonville could potentially get the number 1 pick again, in my honest opinion. Next up, we have the New England Patriots at the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco should win this game by a landslide. Granted, we've seen bigger surprises from New England, like how they beat Cincinnati week 1. But Jacoby Brissett obviously isn't the guy there. He's not meant to be the guy there. But he and Drake May, I feel, should be playing. Drake May would give them the best chance to compete at this current moment over Jacoby, clearly. The Niners should be able to shut down anything Gerard Mayo wants to get going on offense, and they should be able to just invalidate anything Gerard Mayo wants to get going on defense at all, right? No CMC, no problem. Brock Purdy should just be able to dot up the secondary because they got no one there anymore. Not because, Judon is on the Falcons. They got no one in that defense. Brandon Ayuk should eat. If not Brandon Ayuk, Debo should eat, although I believe Debo's hurt. That's why we got George Kittle. Everyone on that Niners offense will eat. Give me San Francisco shutting the Patriots out 28-0 at home to stay second in the division. Next up, we have the Cardinals at home against the Washington Commanders. I think Washington is legit. I had to watch it last week. Arizona's defense is a whole lot worse compared to Cincinnati's. And Kyler Murray and gang are going to have struggles against a formidable defense that Washington has. Jonathan Allen's going to be able to stuff the run. Kyler's going to be pressured a lot this game. Jaden Daniels is QB1 of this draft as far as I'm concerned right now. Looking back at it, Kurt Benkert was entirely right when he tweeted that. Give me the Commanders staying at the top of their division by God's grace. Going up 3-1, 17-10. It's going to be an ugly game, of course, because we still got a rookie, but this defense should be enough to shut down Kyler. As much as I hate to say it, I'm a very big fan of K1. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at Los Angeles. Kansas City has not played a single full game of good football since week 1. Pacheco hurt. Mahomes, he looks washed, right? And Kelsey is playing like a 40-year-old dad who has never touched a football in his life. Meanwhile, these Chargers are coming off a surprising loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. As long as Justin Herbert is healthy, which I believe that is the consensus coming into the game, or it's a game-time decision, if Justin Herbert plays, the Chargers should be able to take advantage of the bad football Mahomes and company have been playing, right? This defensive line, George Karlaftis is no TJ Watt. Joe Alt should be A-okay to play this game. Okay, Joe Alt should be A-okay to go up against George Karlaftis. I feel that Kansas City's defense is going to have a difficult time getting home to Justin. They're going to be able to run this ball very nice. It's a weak run defense. J.K. Dobbins is going to eat. Give me the Chargers winning 20-10, giving Kansas City their first loss, and so-deserved one, because they should realistically be 1-2. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Las Vegas Raiders. This game is going to be ugly. Both offenses suck. Both defenses are full of dogs, right? I hate Cleveland. I hate all they stand for. Nick Chubb still isn't back. Placed on IR. Probably will be back next week. With that being said, Deshaun Watson is going to struggle against it's a very good secondary that the Raiders have. It's a very underrated secondary. Max Crosby is going to have no issues getting home. He's going to get double teamed on virtually every defensive snap that he plays. Okay, because that's how big of a threat Max Crosby is going to be. They're going to have a no run game. Amari Cooper, all you got to do is double Amari Cooper, and I'm pretty sure David Njoku is hurt. So it's done. It's over, right? Alexander Madison should be able to eat against this weak run defense that the Cleveland Browns have been showing so far this year, right? I believe that the Raiders are going to come in here. It's going to be an ugly football game. Gardner's not my first choice of quarterback. Deshaun is even less than my first choice at quarterback. But I think at the end of the day, they're going to walk in. They're going to get it done. They're going to win a score of 10-3. Right. Strange one, but I do thoroughly believe that's how it'll go. Next up on Sunday night, we have Buffalo at Baltimore. As we all know, Baltimore is shockingly 1-2, and I don't expect their win total to go up here. I think it'll be Buffalo. Josh Allen is going to be able to just pop off. Keon Coleman as well. Josh Allen, the winter soldier, going into another team's stadium that has meant nothing to him. An away game, it means absolutely nothing to him. An away crowd means nothing to him. He plays every game like he's at home. This is not going to be any different. Baltimore has been having struggles offensively. Buffalo's defense is nice. They'll be getting home. Damar Hamlin looks like he could be a genuine starting safety, which he is for this game. So that's very cool. I think Buffalo's going to have no issue getting to the quarterback. I think the linebackers are going to be great. You just got to have a spy out there on Lamar. at all times. They're going to be able to cover every weapon Lamar has, because let's be real, Zay Flowers is the only real threat you got to think of. Mark Andrews has been also playing like a 40-year-old dad who has never touched a football in his life. If Josh Allen and Josh Allen and the offense keep playing like they have, like James Cook is going to be able to run against this weak run defense, the Bills should win this game easily. Not by a landslide, but it should be like a bit of a decisive win. It gave me Buffalo winning 28-14 to improve to 4-0 on the season. And as long as Baltimore loses, I lose. You know, it's fine if 3 of the teams in the AFC North are 1-3 at the end of this week. Okay, the first of 2 Monday Night Football games. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. I think this is where Tennessee picks up their first win. All signs are pointing to, look at there from ESPN. Tyler Huntley is going to be starting at quarterback for Miami. Former Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley. Obviously, no quarterback that they have on their roster is going to be too terribly amazing. Nothing's going to work. Will Levis should be better than Tyler Huntley. Hopefully. Right? And if Tennessee loses, at least we're going to get another very funny picture of Levis. But I truly believe, I've seen Brian Callahan work in offense so many times in Cincinnati. He's going to be able to do it this game, so we'll get it together. This Tennessee defense is not amazing, but it should be enough to stop whatever Tyler Huntley wants to do. Tyler Huntley has a habit of staring down receivers. If L'Jarius Sneed catches on to that, it's easy picks. And I'm not wrong. I think Will Levis gets it together, has a game where he doesn't throw any stupid interceptions. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to come in here. They're going to win 21-14. And last but not least, we have a game that is always a movie. For the third year in a row, we have the Seahawks in Detroit. Always an entertaining game when Seattle plays in Detroit, against Detroit. Whatever, it's always a movie. It's always going to come down to like the last possession that Seattle or Detroit has. And I don't think the outcome will change this year. I think Seattle is going to go up 4-0. Aiden Hutchinson, he's nice, but this past defense is full of young players who are still getting used to being in the NFL. It's still weak, right? DK Metcalf has been breaking out this year. Jackson Smith and Jigma, he's moved up. He's like the de facto wide receiver 2 on the depth chart. And Tyler Lockett is still that guy. Geno is still that guy. Kenneth Walker, this is a weak run defense as well, right? Even with the addition of DJ Reader to the defensive line that they had in the offseason, the run defense has not improved whatsoever, not at all. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a shootout where neither defense does anything whatsoever. Maybe there will be another interception from Jared Goff. That's about it, right? Each defense will get like one stop. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think that the Seattle Seahawks are going to win, and I think they're going to win 35-32. It'll be a field goal game, right? I don't know if I did my math right on that, but I do believe I did. I think it'll be 35-32. Game will be decided by a field goal. And that, I did not do my math right on that. Hold up. I think they're going to win. Last play, it'll end. Seattle wins 41-35. That's the math. That's where I got 35. Seattle is going to win 41-35. Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, they're going to eat against this Lions defense. But that is all I got for today. I'm going to go get this uploaded and also make a thumbnail on Canva, because that's always my favorite thing. So that way I can get this up before Sunday. So, good morning, good afternoon, and in case I don't see you, good night.
You can't just jump off